Welcome to Beer, Bourbon, and Games. I'm your host, Chris, and today on the channel I'm sitting down with both Ben and Tracy from Wacker Brewing. We're going to just start really simple, guys. Just tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you do here for Wacker, and then what got you into craft beer.
I'm Ben. I'm the head brewer. I started as a bar back and kind of worked my way up. What was the third part? What got me into craft beer? Probably my brother-in-law wanted me to try something different. It was some weird milk stout, and I enjoyed it and just kind of ran with it from there. Started home brewing with my dad because he wanted to try to find a cheaper route to drink beer, but then obviously that doesn't work out that well. And I got bit by the bug and went from there.
I'm Tracy. I'm Director of Events and Marketing here at Wacker. I've been here for 4 years. I was brought on board to help bring more events when we were still at Grant Street with Thistle Finch, and we did that. We'll talk more about that later, but what got me into craft beer, working here.
Perfect answer. So one of the big things about Wacker is definitely the history of this place. I looked, and it dates back the whole way, I believe it's to 1853. So can you tell us a little bit about the history and how you've gone from where it was to where we are now?
Depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a different answer every single time. When I did some of the beer tours, I'll give you somewhat of a condensed version. Originally in 1853, it was called Eagle Brewing Company, and that's why we have the little bird. That was one of the original logos. A few years later, it was purchased by the gentleman by the name of Joseph Wacker, and he ran it with his sons. Went on for a few more years, and it changed hands quite a few times until it closed its doors, I believe, in 1956. And then fast forward to 2014, the current owner wanted to open up a brewery, and he had some tie back to the actual Wacker facility. I think one of his great grandfathers or something worked at Wacker back in the day, and essentially the name was available, so we used it, and we've been using it ever since. We don't use any of these same recipes. People ask that all the time. The story I was told, there's two sisters that are still alive that are part of that lineage, and I was told that they don't quite get along very well. So we're waiting for one of them to pass away to see who might have some recipes, but that's just kind of a tongue-in-cheek type thing that we like to say because no one really knows where anything is at right now.
So originally you guys were in the Wacker location over in Thistle Finch. That was before you came here. So when you guys moved here, was this always the plan to kind of come into this area and be embraced by the Harley-Davidson community? Is that something you guys were looking for, or how did that kind of take place?
My answer might be a little different than hers. It came to that we needed to move out on Grant Street, so we had to find another place to serve our product, and through one of her many contacts, stroke of luck, what have you, this area, this space was available, and we kind of struck up a deal, and hopefully we'll make some history here.
Yeah, my answer's similar. When I alluded to this in my previous answer, when we were on Grant Street, I was brought on to bring more events and whatnot, which we did, and we outgrew the space. So we outgrew it both from a brewing perspective, which was done in the basement there, and upstairs because we had a shared space with Thistle Finch. So we needed to look to expand, as well did they. So when we moved out, it was a good fit for both of us. I had been here for an event where we were selling beer for one of the Harley-Davidson events. So I had come out to take some marketing photos of our team selling the beer, and I happened to glance into this part of the warehouse, which was open to use the facilities this time, and I noticed that there was a kitchen and whatnot, and I really didn't think much about it. And then we got to the point where we started having the discussions, hey, we need to branch out, we need to expand, blah, 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 and this was something that came back to me, and the demographic and the fit, the history of the long-standing Harley-Davidson name, and Lancaster Harley-Davidson, who's been here 70 years, and our history, and it just all blended and meshed really, really well. We've been very blessed that the community has embraced us. We have a great, when we talk about demographics, we have a great mix of bike clubs that come out, which is awesome. We have families, a lot of families that come out, and we do have some of the people that followed us from Grant Street out here too. So it was a win-win-win all the way around.
You did say you outgrew the original space, so how is it looking in this space? Are you guys looking to ever add another location, or is it something not in the cards yet?
Crystal ball's broken on that one. Don't know what the future looks like. We actually don't brew here.
Okay.
The brewery is over in Centerville. We rent some space out there. I don't know how long we'll be there. It's month by month, year by year basis. I mean, again, really have no idea what it looks like. I mean, we have goals just like everybody else to expand and grow. Just trying to do things wisely and controlled growth.
This capacity, seating capacity, is 3 to 4 times what we had at Grant Street with the outside patio, because we can do about 80 in here and about 100 more people outside. So we've already grown there. We continue to grow. We've also expanded and grown a lot outward, where we're doing off-site events as well. So you know, like Dutch Wonderland now carries our beer there in their pub. We are the exclusive beer currently and hopefully forever at Buck Motorsports, which was a dry township, and we worked really hard to get in there with the township and with the owners, and they've all been great. So we're doing a lot of big things off site too. So when you talk about growing and expanding, it's not just this, we're doing it all.
That's really cool. I didn't know you were doing all that. And Buck Motorsports, I haven't been there for a long time, but it's normally pretty fun, especially the Demolition Derby. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Nice.
We hear a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I haven't been here in years and there's beer now. But yeah, it's better.
A lot of breweries have their own little niche, and you guys have a really cool spot right here. Obviously, with the partnership with Harley Davidson, we've got old vintage bikes all over the place. Do you guys swap them out at all, or is it something that kind of they've been there since the beginning?
We haven't moved anything. We're not allowed to. They're not ours.
Okay.
We've just gone, or Lancaster Harley just went through a change of ownership. So there might be some changes that happen in here. We were told that a couple of these motorcycles around will be removed, probably go to a museum, because there's some really old stuff. I mean, out in front of me there's a bike from 1919. So some really old things in here that a lot of people deserve to see, and not everybody's going to come here to come see some motorcycles. So they might rotate some stuff out, but again, crystal ball thing, I don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, it is one of the coolest things. When I first came here, I was really drawn to that. I'm not a motorcycle person, but I can really appreciate the history that is in here, and they're really fascinating to read about. Like when I see the horsepower behind me of 23.5 and a top speed of 65, that probably was super fast for back in the day, and it's a beautiful bike, and to see where they've come is really neat. So I do recommend anyone that even remotely likes motorcycles, you can come here and also get beer as well. So it's kind of fascinating little museum that you've kind of curated. One of the things I do notice that you're still doing Little Dutch, you've got Bohemian Pilsner. How does it feel to still be brewing the original core flagship beers all the way here in 2022?
I think it's neat to bring some history to not reuse, but just to pull from that, because it's a neat nostalgia aspect that people grasp onto it. They like to say, oh, is this the original? Sure. If you want it to be, enjoy it. As long as you're enjoying the product, that's all that really matters in the end. Yeah, I mean, and some of the old logos and whatnot, it just looks neat. Something about the way things were designed, and it was classic.
The first time I came here, I did do a flight of everything, just so I could see what you were all about, and I wasn't disappointed with any of them, which is good.
They didn't suck, right?
They didn't suck. There are some places where, up and down the board, you're not going to like everything. It's pretty much a given. Luckily, I like all the styles, except for, Roush beer. It's just not something I can really get into too frequently. but your stuff was good. You definitely know what you're doing. You can tell that you have a passion for it. You're not phoning it in. So really good stuff there. You seem like you're hard on yourself, apparently, according to Tracy over here.
Yes.
But you have to be.
Yeah.
Especially it's a one-man team.
Yeah.
So if I was easy on myself, then subpar product would go out, and that's not okay. So like I poured this myself, or actually Tracy poured it for me, and it was cloudy. So either something was wrong with it, or the keg was really low.
Yep.
So I switched the keg out, and now it's crystal clear like it should be. So if I'm not hard on it, and I don't want other people to sample the product, and it's a reflection on me and Wacker as well.
I'm glad to hear that because it is important. There are people coming in and paying their hard-earned money for it, and you've got the passion behind it, so it's a good marriage between the two. We obviously have the old flagships. Do you have anything new that you would consider a core beer or flagship that you've brought on?
It would have to be the Iron Horse. I mean, that's our biggest mover here, and we sell that one also currently at the Buck. It fits the demographic really well. There's not a lot of hops in it, and the feedback is great. People like it, and they come back and keep coming back, which is what we want. Other than that, not right now. I mean, we're working with Dutch Wonderland to have their, it's called 63, because that's when the park first opened, back in 1963, which is a Belgian wit beer. So it's our take on it. You know, little tweaking every single batch, just like any brewer, any home brewer would know. So it's not quite where I want it. Okay, next time. Let's see what we can do next time. Just constantly trying to improve and make sure everyone's happy with it.
Belgian wit's a good style too for when it's super hot out, and a great way for people to not hate themselves for going to Dutch Wonderland, have to spend the hot with all their kids. I know that's a fun time.
Yeah.
So you're making Dutch Wonderland a little bit more enjoyable. So thank you for that, and I'm sure all the parents are appreciative of it as well. The one cool thing I've noticed is you have some styles here that you don't typically see too frequently anymore. Cream ales, you have some more old school styles. Was that always a plan for you to have such a wide variety?
Yeah, I mean, when we got 13 taps, we've got to fill them. And part of it is when it comes to Wacker, we do typically traditional, most of them German styles of beer. And every once in a while we'll do something crazy, but that's just not what I'm about. That's not what Wacker is. We're sticking to it, and every once in a while I'll have some fun, but it's what people consistently want to go for. And again, there's never a perfect beer. There's always something better. We're just trying to duplicate one that's like, ooh, this was good. Can I duplicate that again and again and again? So I have a lot of pride in that. The lager, it's got to be clear. It's got to taste well, and people got to enjoy it.
Very true. And your lagers are great, so keep up the good work on those. I appreciate all the stuff that you're putting out, which is really good. I'm glad you're hard on yourself because it keeps improving, which is great. One of the things I want to ask then, since you're a one-man team, what does your brewing equipment look like? What are you brewing with?
I have a 10-barrel system and 4 fermenters and 1 bright tank. That's it. So it's a lot of coordinating, organizing, and then I have a walk-in cooler filled with, well, sometimes it's filled with kegs, sometimes it's a little less when, demand goes out. Just trying to keep on top of that, and it's time-consuming because lagers take a little longer, and just trying to plan ahead because there are only 4 empty spaces, or now all of them are filled. So just making sure everything's where it should be.
I know you guys are in the Lancaster Brewers Guild. How has that been so far? How do you feel about being in that community of brewers?
I like it. Everybody that's part of the guild it's just a good group of people. And there's Facebook groups, email blasts. When there's a question, you shoot it out. Not everybody's going to respond, but you get a handful of responses to help out, or if somebody needs hops, grain, whatever. It's just a really nice community to be a part of, and then build friendships as well.
I was lucky enough to sit in on the last one, which was really cool. I was over at Tattered Flags location, and I got to learn about hop contracts and different things that you guys do, you know, secret society things in the background that people aren't supposed to know about. But it was really neat to see all of you guys engaging together, really see that camaraderie. I know not everyone was there, but there did seem to be a really good turnout, and that's really nice to see. I'm extremely glad that Ryan was able to organize something like that and get you guys in there, because it does help you kind of unite. And since Lancaster, in my opinion, is starting to become a mecca for beer, you need someone to really kind of rein everybody in, just to get some of those like collab stuff done. I know it's not officially out yet, there's no stuff, but Countywide 1 and 2 were out. They were both very good, the last one being a Maibach. 3 is going to be coming out shortly, so it'd be really cool to see you guys get in on that. Overall, though, I'm glad that you guys are in it. I know that most of the breweries are in the guild, so it's really nice overall. One of the things for you then, Tracy, since we've been pretty heavy on Ben here, what events do we have coming up that you have to look forward to?
We do a lot of events here. We do a lot of our own events. We're also partnering, again, the relationship with the new owners of the Lancaster Harley-Davidson is new, so we're still working through the logistics of that. But for example, Wednesday nights we do trivia. It's every Wednesday and one Sunday a month. And each month we team up with a different charity, most of which are local. And what we do then is we donate a portion of those proceeds from those evenings and that one Sunday back to the charity. It's great because community and giving back has always been important to the owner of Wacker as well as the team that works here. So it's a way for us to do that. It's also a way for us to grow within the community. It's great for them because whatever the charity is, they have a captive audience here. 4 times, 5 times, 6 times a month, where they can talk a little bit about what they do and educate people. So it's kind of just a great opportunity all around. Thursdays, sometimes we have music. Friday, Saturdays, we alternate live music, whether it's a single, solo guy with a guitar or it's a full band. We also do bike nights here, spring, summer, and fall. Several, we have different groups and clubs and organizations that work with us. So, for example, we have one organization that comes every third Friday and one that comes every second Friday, and then Harley-Davidson has one. So almost every week we've got a bike night. So we've got that. We do pet-focused events where people can come and pet puppies and drink beer. No one hates that. And then we donate $1 per pint back to whatever local pet organization it is. We got a dog adopted by one of our own staff. Her and her family just fell in love. So, we do a lot of things where we team up with people and try to make it worthwhile for everybody. And people love it. People come out. Sometimes they come out because they support the organization. Sometimes they just come out because they want a beer. And it's a cool place. They want to go out to live music. Am I missing anything on on-site events? We talked about the off-site things that we're doing.
I don't think so.
Are there any craft beer fests you're going to be pouring out at by chance?
We are not doing fests this year because of all of the other stuff that we're currently doing. Product we're able and blessed to be able to move a lot of product doing here and the off-sites that we already have. And staffing, we only have so many people to work these events, so we've pulled back from fests for the time being. It doesn't mean we wouldn't go back to them, but we're not right now.
I figured it might be one of those, because there are a lot of people that are, the shortage of staff is one of the biggest issues, the turnover. You don't know who's going to be here from one week to the next. Hopefully it sometimes returns to normal. But regardless of if you're at an event somewhere, if you're coming for live music or any of the puppy stuff you said, I love animals more than I love people. I'll admit that. So it's never a bad thing to come and do those things. So whether or not you're coming for a beer or not, good on you, because that money's still going back to those causes, which is really great to hear. And I like how much outreach you're doing. Some breweries just really stick to themselves, and that's fine for them, but giving back to the community that supports you, I think that's an awesome approach that you guys have, and people notice that and they appreciate it, and they'll continue to be a patron at your location because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing a really good thing there overall.
Thank you.
Now, saying all that, what would you say really sets Wacker apart from other breweries in this area?
Well, in this area, we're the only one.
That is true. There's not really anything here.
Oh, just consistent lagers. And then, like you mentioned before, we have cool motorcycles to look at, and it's part warehouse, part restaurant, part beer, all awesome.
Woohoo.
But
Is that on a shirt somewhere?
It's on our rack cards and marketing material.
When we mentioned about how we were in the city, from the city to here, it's a completely different demographic. Not a bad way, it's just completely different clientele. And the community literally has embraced us, and they support us, and they like us. You know, you'll get a whole bunch of weird stuff on social media or third outlets online, and people will be like, nope, they're wrong, they're bashing them, they're just being mean. And a whole bunch of people will support that. So it's neat to have a genuine community out here.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got solid product, which we've already talked about with beer. We've got a full menu of delicious food. I mean, it's expanded 10 times over what we had at our previous location.
We don't have brats and hot dogs all the time now. Yeah.
So, you know, we provide good quality beer, food, service, and that's what people expect, it's what people deserve, and it's what keeps them coming back.
That was going to be kind of something I was going to talk about quickly is everyone watching this is probably a beer lover, but everyone has someone that either doesn't like beer, maybe they don't drink at all. So what is available for the non-beer drinker here?
We offer up cider right now from different vendors, and I was talking to my bar manager, not sure if we'll get different types of meat in or not. It's not really my lane. And then we have full cocktails. The bar staff love to be creative, just doing their thing, mixing up whatever you want. If you say I don't know what I want, make me something fun, they'll be more than happy to do it.
Yeah, they're very passionate, creative. We also have adult slushies, which that's usually the response. So yeah, I mean, and we have seltzers, and we continually expand what we're offering because we want to have. We have wine, local winery. Slipped my mind there for a minute. So we've got something for everybody, and of course sodas and juices for the kids menu, all that good stuff.
You did mention the food. What kind of food can people expect here?
Good quality food. We're kind of on the barbecue is kind of our niche, if you will. We do have appetizers. We have happy hour specials, which run from Wednesdays through Fridays, 4 to 6, $5, and we have quite a few things on there, drinks and food specials. But if you look at our full menu, we've got anything from sandwiches to platters, appetizers, Bavarian pretzel bites with the beer cheese, which has our Go Pills in it. We've got a few desserts, do a whole lot with desserts, salads, vegetarian options, and of course, if there's vegan, gluten-free, other dietary needs or concerns, our staff is happy and more than accommodating. They just need to communicate that with our servers then communicate with the kitchen, and bada boom, you got what you need.
Great to hear. Looks like a good amount. I did have some stuff the last time it came out, and those pretzel bites are really good. Yeah, they're fantastic. When I see those on the menu, I have to always get them. It's just a staple.
They're one of our happy hour specials.
Oh, good. Well, there you go. It's comfort food. It makes me happy. So does lager and beer. So pair them together, and we're perfect. So Ben, this one's for you. Might be a little bit more thought-provoking. Who is your biggest inspiration in the beer industry or in life in general? You can say Tracy. That was discussed off camera.
I won't lie on camera. I don't know if I have an inspiration. I appreciate what Sam Calagione has done from Dogfish Head, just doing what he wanted to do, and now he's just kind of living his life to the fullest. Just doing all sorts of fun stuff. I'm actually reading through 2 of his different books right now, which is funny considering the styles of beer that they brew is not what we do on the regular. But to have an idea, to stick with it, to run with it, and then obviously it succeeded. So yeah, that would be just goal mindset of when to be as successful and to be as liked as an individual as him as well, if I had to pick somebody.
He's definitely made an impact in the industry. I know a lot of people that Dogfish Head is one of the first ones that they've ever had. I believe right now they're partnered with Sam Adams, if I remember correctly. Didn't they kind of do like a purchase thing? So they're still doing great beers down there. It's great to see someone that's been so successful still be so humble in the industry, which is not always the case. So good on that. Now, one last one for you then. How do you approach a new beer? How do you come up with what you want to make?
I asked my bar manager, I asked the serve staff, front of house, back of house, and try to get feedback from customers. As I always come, what do you want? What do you want on tap? Because I want the clientele to be happy, I want the customers to be happy, and I like having the coworkers excited about what's going on tap. I don't like coming up with names. For me, it's a Pilsner, Lager, if that's what it is. Scotch, yeah. I don't need a funky name. But the creativeness of people behind the bar, they thrive on it, and they love that. So it's like, okay, give me an idea what you want, and then I'll sit at the bar, and I'll bring up my brewing software and be like, okay, let's design a beer. And I'll type away and come back in a week or so and be like, what do you think of this? And sometimes they're like, eh. Sometimes like, yeah, let's do that. And what if we do this? So yeah, I speak to the people that are around me because they're living here. That was one, if I had to pick like one negative from when we were not in Grand Street, the brewery was in the basement, the bar was upstairs. When I was done working, I could go upstairs and drink and talk to customers and have fun and hang out. But now I'm 20 minutes away. So I have to make that extra effort to communicate with everybody that's here and get positive and or negative feedback as well.
And how often do you come in?
Not frequent enough. Here we have a meeting once a week, and then between doing off-site events and I'm a family man, and my family comes first. So I'm definitely not here as much as I'd like to, and with long travel from here to home, nobody wants to make silly decisions while driving.
So it sounds like you don't name the actual beers then. Other than maybe it's an IPA, that sounds up your alley.
Yeah, that was definitely me. That was definitely a stick it to you name. And some people didn't like it. Some people were like, ha, okay, I get the point there. Yeah, most of the names, the last two or three, I wouldn't even tell them what it was. I'd give them a sample of the beer and be like, okay, we need a name for this. And we play around with it, telling them what you might sense in the hops, what you might get in the aroma, and kind of have fun with that. And you can give someone bottled water and tell them it has this, this, and this in it. Like, oh yeah, I taste that. I'm like, it's not in there. Your mind's playing tricks on you. Yeah, just talk to the staff, let them have fun, and I get positive feedback, which is great.
Do you do any like small batch stuff too? Do you have a smaller scale or just a 10 barrel?
We have a 1 barrel system. It's where I learned to start brewing on Wacker. That's where it's our pilot system where we did the pumpkin beer, because last year was the first time we've ever made a pumpkin beer. It's what people wanted, and beforehand it was, we're never doing one, we're not doing one, it's not us, because everybody else does. So there was enough request for it, and I said, okay, here we go. And I made it, and now I'm going to be brewing it on the large system this year. So you got to sell out, you got to make people happy, but that's what we're here for. We want to sell beer.
Very true. Well, I want to thank both of you guys for sitting down here with me today. I know you took time out of your busy schedules between brewing and everything that you do with events. Is there any last thing that you'd like to say to the people watching?
Come here if you're nice.
What if they're not nice?
I don't want mean people.
Okay, that's fair.
I am equipped to handle mean people, so come on out. No, yeah, I mean, we're proud of what we've built. We've all, as a team, collectively worked very hard at it. We will continue to work hard at it. and just hope that people continue to enjoy it.
I don't think there's any reason not to enjoy it. You make good beer, you've got good food, you've got really cool atmosphere, and something for everybody just from, listening to what you have here. It's a really nice spot. It's located, a little far out from some people, but apparently there's plenty of people in this area that were desperately in need of refreshment. So everyone's got their little niche in place, and people are reacting very positively to you. So cheers to the rebirth in 2014. It seems to be going great. But yeah, thank you guys both for sitting down. I want to thank everyone for watching here at home. If you're new to the channel, think about hitting the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to come out to Wacker and support local. It's increasingly important in these day and age to support local, because you never know when your favorite business might, not be here, especially in these times. So please come out, give them a shout, and if Ben's here or Tracy's here, say hi to them. Even if you're mean, she'll take care of you.
I'll take it.
Yeah.